There is something called the Pitch Madison report. It gets published every year and it is quite famous among anybody who wants to understand the advertising market in India, especially digital advertising, TV-based advertising and print advertising. According to the Pitch Madison report of 2022, the digital advertising expenditure for 2021 was over 25,000 crores of Indian rupees, and they are predicting 20% more digital ad expenditure for 2022, which will be over 30,000 crores. So it was very surprising when I came across an infographic published by Pyrite Technologies. They are supposedly a digital marketing company. They published an infographic based on Meta's ad spending tracker for April to July. So the infographic published by Pyrite Technologies said that Sadhguru and Isha Outreach had spent about 1 crore rupees, and they were the biggest ad spenders for the period from April to June. It was very surprising because FMCG companies like Hindustan Lever, companies like Swiggy, Zomato, Byju's, Wood, they are spending like several crores of rupees every year on digital advertising. So how come Isha Outreach or Sadhguru became the biggest ad spender? So this was the question. When we dug out the details, we found that the ad spending report that Pyrite Technologies based its infographic on, they failed to understand the context of it, because Meta's ad spending tracker maintains for transparency purposes, they are publishing only social, election or political causes. Whatever spend has happened on only these causes, they are publishing it. On any other thing, let's say for a company own products, no, Meta is not publishing that information. So this context was completely missing in the infographic published by Pyrite Technologies originally. What happened was, so many people spread this infographic and started questioning, why does a spiritual organization spend so much money? And there was another mistake in that infographic saying foundation had spent 8 lakh rupees per day. This is a pretty glaring mistake, because if Isha had spent, let's say, 1 crore rupees over 90 days, it comes to little over 1 lakh rupees per day. It doesn't come to 8 lakh rupees per day. So somebody had messed up their math, and people, without even thinking whether the data is correct, whether the source is right, whether the context is right, they just started taking this information and started sharing it. So this is the context. Between the period from March to June, the Save Soil movement happened. Okay, Sadhguru was on a 100-day journey, traveling across many countries. Sadhguru conducted over 690 public events. He met several heads of states of many countries. 74 nations signed an MOU for Save Soil. Sadhguru addressed the COP15 conference in the World Economic Forum at Davos. 8 or 9 states in India have signed an MOU. Over 3.9 billion people around the world have been reached out to through the Save Soil campaign during those 100 days. Okay, so although maybe 90 to 95% of people would have been reached through volunteers, through influencers, through word of mouth, through print media, I'm pretty sure 2 to 5% of them would have been reached through the social media, and that's where the digital ad expenditure would have come from. So a big shout out to all the donors and sponsors who made this possible, this advertising possible, and enabling so many people. Over half of Earth's population has come to know that our soil is degrading, and something has to be done about it. And many governments have taken cognizance of this. A lot of governments are actually bringing out policies for soil conservation actively in the last 30 to 45 days, as far as I have seen in the news. So this is a very, very positive development, and if you ask me, the whole spend, it's 1 crore or 1.2 crores for these 90 days, it's totally worth it. But what was missing in the infographic published by Pyrite Technologies was this context, that this was Meta's transparent tracker only for social, election or political causes. Only among those categories, and only for that period, for the 90-day period from April to June, was this spend. This context was completely missing, and that 8 lakh rupees per day, I don't know where that number came from. Even people who shared the infographic, they didn't question the basic data. So this is the context to it. When alcohol companies are spending hundreds of crores of rupees for a worthy cause like Save Soil, I think it is definitely worth spending at least 1 crore rupees, and that too reaching out to half of Earth's population. If somebody can achieve that, that will be a miracle, right? Such a miracle has happened, but the infographic is not bringing out the right picture. I hope it will get corrected. And people, whenever you see something and you share, please check the authenticity of the data. That's the minimum responsibility that we as citizens hold. Don't just blindly share something. Okay. Namaskaram.